Hi there, it's Dorleen. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my creative life. I'm working on a 2-page spread layout for the Rainbow Crush Challenge, and this is a YouTube and Instagram hop hosted by Tara from the Paper Snob. I'll have all the information in the information box so you can make sure you hop along with everyone else. Now for this month's challenge, the color is your favorite, or I guess I should say my favorite color combination. I'm going to be honest with you. I love all colors. I could not think of any one specific color combination I wanted to do. So you know what? I did all the colors, which you can see here. So my daughter and my granddaughter had their birthdays are one day apart, so they've had many shared birthdays. And this one, my granddaughter was turning 13, my daughter turning 30, and we just knew that we needed to do a 13 going on 30 movie party theme. So we did a really cute invitation. You saw me show you the cake topper that I use, which I am going to use for the main title of this layout. And I took tons of pictures. So what we did is we asked all the guests, obviously optional, but either dress as your 13-year-old self or your 30-year-old self. So it was really fun. I think most of the guests dressed that way, but the funny thing is many of us were saying, hey, I feel like I still dress like my 13-year-old self, because we're wearing jean shorts. We all seem to be wearing Chuck Taylors, which was hilarious. And in my case, I wore tube socks, which I don't normally wear, but that's what I wore when I was 13, a teenager in the 70s. But anyhow, back to the layout. I have lots of pictures, like I mentioned before, and you can see how I want to do 2 of the 4x6 across the left page, and then I have 2, 4, 5 on the right page. So the one picture that I had that I just chopped down, I did that so it's a 4x4, so that's going to continue on the right page. But I love having multiple photo layouts, especially when I have a lot of photos, because I will either use flip-flaps or something, because I just don't like doing so many page layouts in a scrapbook album. I know that sounds crazy. If I'm doing a specific trip or something, I'll do its own album. But something like this where I do scrapbook chronologically, it just seems like a lot. So what I did was I took a piece of this really fun paper, and the dress or the color scheme of the party, my daughter bought that dress that, what's her name? Jennifer Gardner's character wore as a 30-year-old. Now it's a little bit more saturated or darker colors, but when my friend had this paper and said, hey, do you need some of this? I was like, oh my God. I said yes, it matched so well. So you saw me right there when I was adhering it, when I'm doing big pieces like that, and you'll see me doing here with the photo, I'll put my finger on the corner and that kind of anchors it before I press the rest of it down. Now you can see here I'm putting that picture of my granddaughter and my niece, and then I decide to move it up, and you'll see in a minute, and I'll kind of point it out when it gets there. But this is very simple. Like I said, 4x6 pieces pattern paper right there in the corner, because basically I just filled this whole paper or the whole cardstock with multiple photos, and there's just a little bit of white space over on the top, which I'm fine with. So here's the cake topper that I was talking about. Isn't that so cute? I made that earlier, and you can see that it was a whole shaker card, or I guess I shouldn't say card, shaker topper. Super cute, but also really thick. And I don't like to do very thick dimensions in my scrapbooks. I just feel like it just kind of smushes everybody else up, or everything else up. So I removed a lot of the foam adhesive. Now there still is some dimension, but it's 1 layer versus, 4 in some places. I just use liquid adhesive to glue, or to add there, so I can adhere it to the page. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to put an acrylic block on it to hold that glue down. I'm also going to put it underneath this mat here while I'm working on the right hand page. Now I knew that title was going to take up all of that left side, but I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the right side. So I went to my Cricut and I made all these little images, but you see how they kind of bled? That's definitely a printer problem. So I didn't even bother to cut it out, but I did a bunch of clusters and stuff too. And I just fussy cut them. I'm like, I'm good with it. So on the right side, right there in the middle where I just pointed, I knew I wanted to put some sort of embellishment there. And that is the reason why I switched that picture of my granddaughter and my niece up, because if I would have had it down on that lower, left side of that right side page, confusing, I would have chopped my niece's head off. So I grab some stickers, and I'm going to just randomly place them along the top, but you'll see me do that in just a minute. Right now I'm going to do some strip journaling over on that left-hand side. I'm going to fix this little embellishment in the middle. I have a 2 3/4 inch circle punch that I'm going to punch, that I'm going to use as a base for those clusters that I created in the Cricut. And again, I just did a print and cut, but I printed it, and like I mentioned, it just wasn't a good solid print job. So I just decided I was just going to fussy cut what I was going to use, and may not use everything. But I really like the way this looks. I think it's so cute. And, you know, we did the pina coladas, just like the movie. I hope you guys watched the movie so you know exactly what I'm talking about. And then I just used like flirty and fabulous and, you know, hearts and butterflies. I was trying to think of, you know, junior high, right? That's what we're doing, hearts and butterflies. I guess we still are, even at 30 and above. But I was trying to fit that theme of the movie. Lots of colors, so I could have went with really just any colors. I used that light blue because I thought it was really pretty. So that was a very simple embellishment over there on the middle of the right page. And then here on the left, I'm doing the strip journaling, and this is just basically saying, you know, Leanna, which is my granddaughter, was turning 13, and my daughter turning 30, you know, this perfect opportunity to use this as a theme. Very basic. I love strip journaling because it just kind of adds a little bit of fun and funkiness. And I always like to, what would you call that? Like offset the strips so they're not just all straight. That's just me. I just think it's kind of fun. And again, I'm going to go through some sticker sheets and just kind of load up that top section. Now, at first I thought, you know, just leave it white. Everything needs a little white space, but I just couldn't. It just looked like it was so stark compared to everything else. And so because it's so photo heavy, I really wanted to have some embellishments too, to add some fun to it. And I hope you agree. I mentioned earlier that this is a color challenge, and I'm using pretty much all the colors. And but it'll be interesting to see the other hoppers and see what their favorite color combinations are. So I'm really excited about that. And I mentioned before, I'll have the link in the information box. I'll also have a link to my blog and also my Instagram account. So if you're interested in looking at either of those, I would appreciate it, of course. And I do post 2 videos a week on my YouTube channel. So if you're not already a subscriber, I'd appreciate you pressing that subscribe button if that's something you're interested in. I do all kinds of different crafts, but I always do at least one video on scrapbooking a week. So this is my video of scrapbooking for this week. Matter of fact, I did 2 this week. But anyhow, so again, I just kind of picked stickers that I thought kind of felt like that teenage kind of vibe, and also just bright colors, which again, I pretty much could have used any color because this paper has all the colors. And technically, so do the pictures, because it wasn't color specific. I did both silver and gold on some of the little stars and hearts. I wasn't too concerned about mixing metals, but it was really fun to go through some stickers. Some of them were clearance items at Hobby Lobby. Some were Dollar Tree stickers, and some were just regular priced stickers, that I bought from Hobby Lobby, like those rainbows and rainbow hearts, and also those really fun disco balls, which we did have some people that dressed like the 80s. Now, I was 13 in the 70s, so like I said, I was more 70s dressed, but we had lots of different age group there because of the 2 different birthday girls. So I just did some simple line drawing or, for the journaling, and also around that circle there. I'm going to add another one of those disco balls right there just to add a little bit to the journaling spot. I think that gives it a little bit of fun. And I can't remember if it's on or off camera, but I do add little like twinkle stars around the journaling box as well, just to kind of bring down some of that sparkle all up and down the pages. But really simple. I think you'll agree, especially since I had that cake topper for the main embellishment, and that was already done. And this is lots and lots of pictures, which I love. So I hope you enjoy this. Like I mentioned before, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And thank you again for watching. Don't forget to hop along and watch everybody else's and leave comments. We all like comments and we all appreciate comments. Thank you again. Bye.